discussion on bridges in networking. So the various topics that we are going to cover in case of bridges are: first we will discuss about definition of bridges, then its connection representation and how it basically works in the networking. Then we will discuss about what are the different types of bridging that are used in the network according to the requirement. Then we will discuss about the types in detail, that is simple bridging, then about multiport bridging, then transparent bridging, then implementation of bridging will also be discussed. Then in the last we will discuss about forwarding and short path bridging. And in the last we are having some MCQs. So let's start with our first slide. Basically, what is bridge? Bridge, it is a networking device. Basically, it is a device, a hardware, which is used in order to aggregate and mix up the multiple networks so that the multiple networks can communicate with each other and they can transfer the data and important information among them. So basically, a network bridge or a bridge is a networking device which is present in the network. So in the next slide I have taken some pictures of bridges. So in the first image we are having simple bridge structure in the red border image. Then in the next image, which is having pink color border, in this image we are having a central bridge which is connecting the two LANs like LAN A and LAN B, that is local area network A, local area network B. In the LAN A we are having four systems like computer 1, 2, 3 and 4. In LAN B again we are having computer 5, 6 and 7. Using the two ports which are present on the two sides of the bridge, we are connecting the two LANs so that they can transfer the information and communicate with each other. So in the last diagram, which is having yellow color background, we are having a central bridge. It is connecting a corporate LAN segment, then a basic database server. Server means that we are having a collection of information which is like connected to the further clients. Then in the third segment, it is the manufacturing segment. So these are the three different images of bridges in order to understand the working and its structure. So in the next slide, we are having some types of bridges. So basically we are having three types like simple bridging, transparent bridging. Transparent bridging is also called as learning bridging, then multiport bridging. So let's discuss these bridges one by one. So first is simple bridging. Simple bridging is basically used in order to connect the two network segments, and it operates very transparently, means that we just need to like transfer the data frame by frame from one location to the another. So there is a special technique which is used over here, that is store and forward technique. Means that we just like store the data whichever is required, and if in case it is required, then we will just forward the required information to the destination from the source without any delay. So until it will reach the receiver, we can store the data in the source side. So in the next slide we have taken one simple diagram like segment 1 and segment 2. In between we are having one bridge with two ports, so that with first port it can connect to the segment 1, and with the second port, with the help of it can be connected to the segment 2. So next is transparent bridging. This is the second type of bridging. This bridging mostly uses a table in which it stores information to which location like destination it has to transfer the data. It has to forward the frame. So basically this bridging operates over the devices having the multiple ports. So this thing is very clear that if we are having one table in which we are having a collection of data and the address of the destination, then the bridge must have multiple ports also to get connected to the multiple destinations. So in the last point we have discussed two-port bridge reads frame destination address, and after reading the destination address it decides whether it has to like filter the data, verify the data, or to just forward the frame to the location, that is the destination location. So in the next slide we are having working of transparent bridging. So we can easily see that we are having one bridge which is further connected to 10 workstations, 10 systems. So we are having multiple ports here which is further connected to different workstations. So this is the example of transparent bridging. So next is multiport bridging. Multiport bridging means that definitely we will have the multiple ports so that it get connected to the multiple stations, a number of stations or like systems. Then the important point which has to be noticed over here is that it has to decide the direction of traffic movement also, so that it can analyze that if the like path is busy to transfer the data from source to the destination, then it has to wait. So, likewise, multiport bridge typically perform the state and forward operation, which is similar as the working of the simple bridging technique which we have just discussed. So, the last point is that it is basically used to connect the multiple like networks. So, act as a network switch we can say. So, in the next slide, we are having example like centrally we are having one bridge which is further connecting to the four like local area networks like LAN 1, 2, 3 and 4. So under the local area network 1 also we can have multiple workstations, under 2 also we can have multiple systems. So ultimately we are having collection of LANs and collection of like workstations also. So this is the working of multiport bridging. So in the next slide we have discussed some of the terminologies which are important in related to the bridges. Like first is CAM. CAM means that content addressable memory. So the forwarding information base mostly stored in the this memory, and basically it is in the like empty state. It will not have any kind of data. Whenever the data has to be transferred to the like destination from source, it has to store it in the CAM memory. So in the next point, for received Ethernet frame, that is the local area network frame, switches mostly learn the MAC addresses, like address of the system to which the data has to be sent. So the third point is that it forwards the it will have the multiple interfaces in the CAM which are used in order to send the data to the different locations. And the last point is that unicast flooding. What exactly does it mean? Unicast flooding means that if the destination address is not familiar, then what will happen? It will just transfer the data through the all interfaces which are present, and the data will be transferred to all the locations. So there will be a kind of flooding of data. So that is called as unicast flooding, means that in the one direction there will be flooding of data. So the next is forwarding. Forwarding means that we need to store the data and forward it to the next location, that is next layer, from one layer to another layer. So the different like methods which are used are, we are having four types of methods of forwarding. Like first is store and forward, then second is cut through, third is fragment free, then last is adaptive switching. So let's discuss one by one. Store and forward. As the name represents, it will have one buffer or memory where it will store all the data and just transfer the frame by frame data to the destination. So the next is cut through. Cut through means that there will not be any verification or error checking in this method. It will just store and just forward the data one by one to the destination where the receiver will get the address. So there will be faster transfer of data in this case. So next is fragment free. Here this method follows the advantages of both the methods that we have discussed, that is first store and forward and cut through method. So it checks first 64 bytes of frame so that it can find the address where the information is exactly stored. So the last point is adaptive switching. In this method, it is automatically selecting the other three methods of forwarding. It means that it will be like a mixture of all the three types. Next we are having shortest path bridging. It is specified in IEEE format, IEEE 802 standard, which is basically a computer technology, so that it can create a perfect configuration so that the multiple routing is possible and multiple collection of data can be transferred. So basically it is developed for the replacement of some protocols, some spanning tree protocols which were already defined and in which there were some problems like data will be duplicated sometimes. It is transferred 2 times or 3 times to the location. So in order to remove those like negative points, this bridging has been started. So this method allows all the paths to be active with multiple equal cost so that at least one can work at a time and the data can be transferred from source to destination finally. So it enhances the count of local area networks allotment on layer 2 network, that is data link layer. So let's have some MCQs. The first question is, how many types of bridges are there in networking? So we are having three types as we have discussed: simple, transparent bridging. Then third we discussed multiport. So the next question is, which method is automatically selecting between other three modes? So the correct answer is adaptive switching follows all the other three methods of forwarding the data. So this was all about bridges. Thank you so much.